Greetings, Internet. Today I want to show you my Stamina Sorcerer. This is something I've been working on for only about 2 weeks, I think. 2 or 3 weeks. Not that long, basically. And it's a very simple, straightforward build that I've been using to beat Maelstrom Arena, as you might have seen in the first clip. Alright, I think first off let's start with the gear. So I'm running 5 pieces of Twiceborn Star. It's all medium armor. As you can see, it's all divines. Then 5 pieces of Vicious Ophidian. You want to get divines in all these pieces as well, because that's what the Twiceborn benefits from. You see my shoulder is reinforced. It's the best shoulder I have at the moment. And then for the Vicious Ophidian you want to have jewelry. You see 2 of these come from veteran trials, but this one actually comes from normal trials, which means you can do let's see, you can do AA and HRC on normal and still have a chance to get these rings. And you can also trade with people now, which is really nice. So let's say I get a ring, I already have the rings I need, I can just give the ring to someone else that needs it. That's how I've been able to, collect these sets. Like this ring right here I got from someone else, this necklace I got from someone else. So it's pretty nice to be able to do that. But yeah, so you need the jewelry to be able to run 5 pieces of Vicious Ophidian. You could alternatively also just run I don't have it on me, but you could run agility jewelry and then do 2 helm pieces. If you're doing 2 monster pieces for helm and shoulder, I would recommend using Velodreth. Terrible traits here. Velodreth and Molekina. Like for example, I would have a shoulder piece and I would have a helm piece. And then you could run, agility jewelry. For weapons, I currently have 2 Lackey weapons. I don't have enough. What's it called? Maelstrom one-hand weapons to be able to use that instead. So yeah, this is just currently what I'm running. I need to farm the arena a lot more for, more weapons basically. And then we have a Maelstrom bow, also defending. Terrible trait, I know. But yeah, so you definitely want to go for Maelstrom weapons for your dual wield bar. Anyway, so let's take a look at the skills. I also see some neat colors here. In case you're wondering, the set piece, the Twiceborn, is all in a style of Order of the Hour. So it looks pretty good. For the bars we have Rapid Strikes, Rearming Trap, Rending Slashes, Deadly Cloak, Camouflage Hunter, Flaw and Stormbreaker. On the bow bar we have Poison Injection, Endless Hail, Critical Surge, Hurricane, Camouflage Hunter again, and Suppression Field. Now the reason why I'm not running Bound Armaments, which you could use, increases your heavy attack damage and max stamina. The reason why I don't run that is because I end up losing 2 skills. And when you do get the Maelstrom weapons, you want to have pretty much all these skills on your bar. Because, let's see, Trap, Rending Slashes, Poison Injection, all benefit from, and Flaw and Stormbreaker, all benefit from the Cruel Flurry enchant that you get from the Maelstrom dual wield weapons. Also for the weapons here that I have, like these Lackey weapons, I just have Crusher enchant and Weapon Damage enchant. Okay, so the way you would use this is you would use Rapid Strikes, then Trap, Rapid Strikes, then Rending Slashes, Rapid Strikes, then Deadly Cloak. The Maelstrom enchant doesn't work on Deadly Cloak, but it's nice to use Rapid Strikes anyway. Then you would use Rapid Strikes again, swap your bar, use Poison Injection, then Endless Hail that you would animation cancel, like this. Right click. So basically you see use the attack and then right click as soon as the bow goes in the air. That way you can animation cancel it, otherwise you have to sit through that entire effect. This way you shave off half a second or so. Also, in case you're wondering, I am on top of the gate in Glenumbra. I won't actually show you how to get up here though. Then you want to use Hurricane. So, you know, you go through, use all the skills like a checklist basically. And then, you know, Hurricane, once you hit Hurricane, you go back to this bar. So Critical Surge and Hurricane are the two things that really differentiate this with my Dragonknight, as well as the Deadly Cloak and Suppression Field. The Critical Surge basically works like igneous weapons, except it heals you every 1 second for 3000. And the thing is, this healing is actually increased by various things. So usually it heals me for 5k whenever it crits, because it can crit that heal, which is you know, just incredibly good. This is basically the skill that makes you go from very squishy medium armor build to nearly unkillable in most content. Like in most wretched dungeons you won't die to anything except one shots when you have this up alongside, you know, something that takes every second like Hurricane. Hurricane is also a really nice skill. So actually let me get on the ground here. So when you use it, you can see it starts out as a pretty small circle. I think it's 5 meters, and then it expands. Now it's 7, and then it expands again, and now it's 9. So that looks pretty good. And you know, it does more damage the longer it lasts. Plus it gives you minor expedition, major resolve, and major ward. So you see we get quite a lot of, you know, resistances. I have a lot more on my bow bar because the bow is defending. But basically you get about 18 spell and then 16 physical resistance. I'm gonna show you 2 DPS tests at the end of this, by the way. One that shows off the DPS without the Maelstrom weapons, basically with the setup I'm running right now. And then one that shows with the Maelstrom weapons, and you can tell like how huge of a difference it is. Oh yeah, before I forget. Then we use 64 points in stamina attribution. Attribution points? Yeah, 64 attribution points in stamina. You can also see this is my stat line at the moment. All these stats stay the same regardless of which bar I'm on, which I like a lot. I don't have Undaunted maxed out in this character yet. You see I'm getting pretty close. I need 9 to max this one out. And I would have a little bit more max stamina and health and stuff. Regens are alright, I guess. I mean, they're not that great, but they're alright. And since my character is a red guard, I also get the Adrenaline Rush. For this setup, I do think something like Bosmer, Red Guard, or Khajiit might be the best setup. Khajiit would only be good because of the crit, but the extra stamina is really nice. Let's see, oh yeah, the Munda Stones we use with Twiceborn are Thief and Shadow, just like you would on any other DPS class using Twiceborn. For the, let's see, champion points, just go through this quickly. I have 100 points in Warlord, and this is with max champion points. Then I have 77 in Mooncalf. Then in the blue tree I have 100 in Mighty, 77 in Precise Strikes. I could use more points in Thaumaturge, but I haven't actually really messed around with this. I might try that at some point, because on my Stamina Dragonknight I have 40 points in this, so I'll, you know, try and see what works the best. In the red tree I have 30 in Spell Shield, and then I split the rest in between Hardy and Elemental Defender. And that's pretty much it. So now I'm just gonna swap over to some DPS footage, and it's of course on Bloodspawn, which is what I use to check the DPS on all my characters. Alright, first off we're going without the Maelstrom weapons, so this is with the setup I showed you in the video. And you see I start off just buffing you know, Surge and Hurricane before actually going to fight, and then I, you know, plot down my negate, and then I start my rotation with the rapid strikes. See, there's the Deadly Cloak, and then I do it again, and then swap over. Rebuff, Endless Hail, Hurricane, swap back. Keep in mind you don't really want to rebuff your Surge. Like, if you only want to use Surge to buff your weapon damage, that's fine, but you want to make sure it's as efficient as possible, so you would only want to do that every 3 times you return to your bow bar, because each rotation going from dual wield to bow bar is about 10 seconds if you do it correctly, and the duration on Surge is is 30 seconds, actually 33 I think. So you want to make sure you use it efficiently and not just spam it, because that way you end up just losing DPS without really gaining anything from it. And there we go. See, that ends at 33k DPS. You just see here in our skills: Rapid Strikes #1, Endless Hail, Poison Injection, Trap, Hurricane. Hurricane is really good, you can see, 2.7k. Light Attack, that's basically just my light attack weave in between attacks. Here's the same thing, this time I'm just using Maelstrom weapons. And I'd like you to note the differences. So the reason why I'm doing the rotation as I'm doing it right now on my Sorc, even without the Maelstrom weapons, is just to prepare for the Maelstrom weapons. You can definitely beat, Maelstrom Arena without having any Maelstrom weapons, just using this setup. Like, if you didn't have the Maelstrom bow, you could use something else. Like, just a standard sharpened bow would be fine. Because I've beaten it a few times now with this setup here, without Maelstrom dual wield weapons, and it's perfectly doable. You can see I go through the exact same rotation. You can also see in my hotbar I just used a weapon damage potion. I just do that to make sure my my weapon damage buff does not run out before the fight is over. Because if I only use Surge and waited on that one to run out, and then only rebuffed at that, like if I rebuffed that after it ran out, I would lose DPS. The whole point of doing the DPS test is seeing how far you can push it. You see it goes down here in a second, and the DPS is 37k. So you can see from just swapping the Lecky weapons with Maelstrom weapons, and one of the Maelstrom weapons is powered, I'd like to point out, you gain at least 4k DPS, which is just ridiculous. It shows how good the Maelstrom weapons are with this kind of setup. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and hopefully more people will start playing Stamina Sorcerer, because it's a lot of fun, honestly. See ya.